Go live now, okay, baby?
Okay.
Let's do it. And we're live. Welcome back, guys. I'm Brian J. And today I have, honestly, someone super special. I know I say it every single time, but this person has my heart. As you know, in the pageant community, a lot of pageant fanatics, pageant analysts always have a sentimental favorite. And it just so happens this year that this woman is one of my sentimental favorites for the Miss Universe crown being held here in the United States, particularly in New Orleans, in just a few weeks. I have with me Toshami Calvin, Miss Universe Jamaica.
Hello, everyone. And thank you, Brian. I'm really honored that you feel like that. And time is dwindling, it's coming up really fast.
I know that's nerve-wracking. I can only imagine. I mean, I'm nervous and I'm not competing, so I can only imagine what you are feeling right now.
Yes, there's a lot of nerves starting to come up because it's like the pot is brewing and we're almost there. But I'm also very excited to get to meet all the other candidates.
I am pretty sure that they are scared to see you because you are a woman that's absolutely stunning. And I don't know, you just have this magic energy that I see. And as a pageant analyst, I look at you and I'm like, whoa, she has so much potential. Um, I'm just excited. I'm excited. And I know a lot of people are excited. I know obviously you're excited.
Yes, and I don't want to scare anyone at all. I'm just really excited to meet everyone and get to know them and learn about their culture too.
It's going to be awesome. You know, so many women from all across the world in a melting
Coming
pot.
together.
It's going to be cool.
Coming
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, enjoy this. Enjoy this. Obviously, this is your moment. So Tashami, I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate the Miss Universe Jamaica organization for letting this happen. It's always an honor to have obviously sentimental favorites for me to interview and let the pageant community fall in love with you guys. So with that being said, go ahead and present yourself. Let us know a little bit about yourself. Let's pretend like we don't know who you are. So just go ahead and let us know everything that you think is key and important from you.
Okay, first, my name is Tashami Calvin. I am Jamaican. I'm from a very small community in Bath, St. Thomas. I am 26 years old. I went to school both in Jamaica but also in the United States. So I graduated with my undergraduate degree from the University of Central Florida. I studied health sciences. And with that, I worked with children on the autism spectrum, providing them with behavioral therapy. And what else? My favorite color is blue and pink. I like crocheting. What other fun things do
Crochet.
I do? Yes, and swimming and being out in nature. I love being out in nature because it helps me to relax.
You know, speaking of nature, the other day there's a mountain here in Las Vegas, and it
Mhm.
snows. Like it's pretty cold. It doesn't snow in Las Vegas, but if you go a little like an hour away,
Yeah,
it snows there. And I went there and it was just so peaceful. So I can totally relate with you about the nature
yes.
thing. Yeah.
And it took me, I don't think I saw snow until I was about 20 years old when I went and visited my aunt in Boston. So
How
it
long
was
did you live in
exciting.
Florida? Because by the way, now everything is making sense for me because you just said you studied in Orlando, and I'm from Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've only
Oh,
been here in Las Vegas
that's
for a year.
okay. Maybe that's where the sentimental feeling is coming from
I
because I
think
lived
so.
in
I'm being
Orlando
biased.
while I was in school. I went to high school in Daytona Beach, Florida. So I went to Mainland High School. While there, I was a part of the marching band. So we went to all the
Ooh.
football games.
What did you play?
And I didn't play, I was the dance.
Oh,
I
that's
danced,
good.
so the auxiliary. I was a part of the auxiliary,
Tashami, let me stop
dancing
you
and
there
singing.
because Miss Jamaica's, I don't know why, but it must be like a Caribbean thing. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm Puerto Rican. So
Mm-hmm.
it must be a Caribbean thing because Miss Jamaica's usually get the front center at Miss Universe because they know how to dance. They know how to give
We
that
have the
flavor.
rhythm in us.
I mean,
It's
I know you're a
interesting.
pageant fan, so you know Yendi Phillips.
Yes, she's one
That
of
was
our
power in the
best
opening.
placement. Yes, and
Yeah.
she did amazing. I'm hoping to live up to that standard that
Ooh,
she has
I
set
feel
for us.
like you are the Jendi Phillips this year. So between you and me. So
Thank you. Don't tell anyone else.
well, speaking of Jendi,
Hmm.
you have had predecessors that have really captured the audience at Miss Universe. You've had forgetting the names right now, but you've had Yendi, you've had Michael Simone, you've had
Davina Bennett.
yes,
Yeah,
all
she was
those
amazing.
girls. Yes, all those girls weren't necessarily the number one favorite, but when the
Hmm.
pageant started,
Yes.
like live, they captured the audience attention. Like they fell in love with these girls and they were rooting hard. And it seems to keep on happening. With those three girls, it happened.
Yes.
I feel like you might be the
And
fourth.
oh, thank you. I hope to be the fourth though, because it would be something amazing for Jamaica too. It's our 60th anniversary of being independent. And with all of those beautiful women who captured our arts, they have a saying in Jamaica, they say, we lick a bit, but we talawa. So we're small, but we're capable of doing great things. So,
Now,
yes.
speaking of doing great things, you know that Miss Universe now has a new owner, and she's very, from what it seems, it has been very keen on having a transformational leader be the new Miss Universe. So I'm pretty sure that you've been attentive to that, and you've said to yourself, how am I going to project being a transformational leader? So let's say you're walking around and Anne sees you, and she's stunned by your beauty, as we all are. And she looks at you and she's like, "Hey, Tashami, what makes you a transform leader?"
I understand. Yes. So for me, get my field that I work in, because we all have things that we are passionate about and something that we feel strongly about, and we'll sit with it. So I think the difference is when you actually start to work towards making that change, because I have cousins with disabilities and one that's on the autism spectrum. And I remember when my aunt told me of the diagnosis, I was in a transitional period. I was taking a gap year from school. And I thought to myself, what could I do to make a difference? What could I give back to that community? Because no, my aunt and my family is a part of it. So that's when I decided to start to work with children to provide them with behavioral therapy. And then my plan now is to do my master's in applied behavioral analysis so that I can be a board certified behavioral analysis, BCBA. I'm trying to not use too many acronyms so that people can understand. But I just really want to do something. So I don't want to sit with it. So I think it's a matter of recognizing what needs to be done and standing up and saying something about it, but also working towards it. It doesn't have to be on a large scale that we're starting, but even making a difference for one person. Yes.
There's a leader. What can I say?
Yes.
That's definitely showing
Absolutely.
leadership. I love that.
Yes.
And it seems like you're very defined in that, and that's definitely something that the universe will fall in love with because we've seen your social work, we've seen your post on Instagram, and it's really important to make that visible so people can feel
Yes.
inspired and see. So on behalf of the pageant community, I'll thank you for doing that because it's so important that you girls have something that you guys feel very passionate about. Now, with that being said,
Yes.
do you think it is necessary? For a contestant to go to Miss Universe with a platform?
I don't think it's something that's required, but it also shows character and it shows that you're willing to get up and do the work. So when you do have that platform already established, it's easier to showcase your qualities and the things that you believe in and what you want the change that you want to create. So if you don't have a platform, it's easy to find one once you're there. Or even if you aren't doing anything as yet, you can always start tomorrow. And so I don't think you necessarily have to have one, but it's good to have one so that you can showcase the qualities before you're there.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard what Tashami said? She's not wrong. Let me tell you that. Tashami, I'm gonna go a little bit left field. And your cousin is actually pretty famous in the pageant community. A lot.
She is very and loved. She's amazing. So Tony Ansing.
What was that?
Tony Ansing, Miss World 2019. Yes.
Yes. Have you gotten any tips from her?
We talk all the time. She's actually, I can't say it too loudly, but one of my favorite cousins. We're the closest in age.
You're going to get some hate for that.
Right. Yes. You know, the rest of them are going to say, what did you say? But just based on age alone, we are both 26. Her birthday is February 1st. Mine is March 30th. And she has an unrunning joke that I was born just to keep her company because she's an only child. So we talk a lot, and anytime that I need any advice or I'm going through something, she's my person. So even in this, she's someone that I can rely on to be there for me and to help me and just to give me tips about what to expect.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My question would be, you know, how cool would it be for you to win Miss Universe and your cousin is casually a Miss World?
Just
like what?
I think that would be a big legacy, and not just for Jamaica, but even from my little small community. She was the first ever Miss World Jamaica from that area, from our parish, and I'm the first ever Miss Universe Jamaica from that parish. And then she went on and did Miss World. So our little parish would not know what to do or how to react.
They got to make statues of you two together.
Right? Yes, it would be something amazing. It's a dream. And it would create a legacy for our area too.
That's amazing. I can totally see that happening. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on throwing flowers at you because I'm obsessed with you. So
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I wanted to ask you, in June 2020, you posted something related to Black Lives Matter. And I just want to know why was that important to you, and is it still important to you?
Yes, it's something that is still important to me because, as I mentioned earlier, I did go to school in the United States and I've resided there for some time. And just seeing how people of color get treated in that community. And just a segue, coming from Jamaica, we're out of many one people. So I didn't really know or even see racism firsthand until I migrated and was living in the United States. So being there and being a part of the Black community, it's something that also affected me. And I've seen or met people and we're friends with people who are usually affected by it. So I think that when we have a voice, we need to stand up and speak out for the causes that we believe in. So that's something that I wanted to stand with the community and post because it was something that was important, especially in that moment with the George Floyd incident.
That's amazing. And it's so important still to this day. We have a lot. I work in Las Vegas, so just imagine the things I see, and there's so much progress that we need to make happen somehow.
Yes, and it starts with just everyone standing up and standing out against it and letting our voices be heard, because that's how we create change.
You're totally right. Now, let's go a little bit more lighthearted. And I want to start knowing, because I
Lighthearted.
know people are dying to know about your
Yes.
preparation towards Miss Universe. Tell us a little bit about that.
Preparations are in full swing because January 14th is
God.
fastly approaching. So we're working on stage presentation and walking. We're working on interview training. I'm actually excited to be talking to you because this is live training as it's happening. And we're working on the gym, staying in shape, making sure that you're focusing on your mental health at the same time. So you're taking that time for yourself to do what you need to do so that you can feel and be your best self when you do go off for the pageant.
Now, you mentioned mental health, and it's so important. A lot of people, and I've mentioned it before with all the other Miss Universe girls this year, mental health is such an important aspect in life in general, but
Yes.
especially in a pageant because you have so much criticism. And you've seen our current Miss Universe has gone through so much turmoil and so many
Yes.
critiques, and probably not in the nicest way. So, what is something you could tell the pageant community that would maybe make them step back, relax, and think about what they're doing before they're writing?
I think that my saying, and it's something my grandmother always told me, and I'm sure everyone probably have heard it already. It's if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And then I'll follow it up by do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if you wouldn't want to see someone writing that about you or having to read those comments being made about you, then you don't want to be the person making that comment because it can affect people mentally. And sometimes we don't even know the mental struggles that people are having internally and it doesn't show, but then that comment could just be the thing that sends them over that edge. And we don't want to lose people to suicide. It's something that is possible, and we have to be very careful about how we're interacting with people.
That kind of made me super sad right now, and I don't want to cry. That would be really weird. But you're actually my computer is literally being held on top of a box that I got at Miss USA when Chesley won.
Yeah.
And she's on the cover in there, so it makes me a little sad, talking about that always, because
Mm-hmm.
as a pageant analyst, I feel bad that we didn't value the light that she was. So that's why I always want to
Yeah.
talk about mental health with everyone because it's really so important in pageants. There's so many critiques, so many fingers pointing to everyone, and
Yeah.
like I always say, I do this channel, and it's obviously a passion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Puerto Rican, so we love pageants and we go ham and we want our contestants to look the same. And that's my goal with my YouTube. Like I want you guys to be presented the best way possible on stage. But I do all my critiques from a place of love. And I always want to like remind you guys that I every time I criticize you guys or something, I don't do
Mm-hmm.
it with in a malignant way. I want you guys to look the best possible, and people should really stop and think before they do because it affects people. It affects me. I just see comments all the time, and I'm like, ah, whatever, and I
Oh
have to
my
like
God.
just look away and try to disconnect from them.
Yes. And you mentioned something, and I think it's the when you see the criticism, and even with people giving you advice, you know that internally you can look at it. It's something I read online, and it's if it applies, then you modify. If it doesn't, then let it fly. And I think that's something I hold on to, but also with critiques, you can sense when someone is being genuine with them and when it's coming from a place of love. So I've seen the comments, I see all the critiques, and you can tell when it is coming from a place of love, and yours always have. So I would just like to say thank you for
I
that.
appreciate it.
I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it. I want you to win, girl. I want you to win.
I
Don't get me
want to
started.
win.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I really like that. I wanted to ask you, I just mentioned again that I'm Puerto Rican. We love pageants.
Mhm.
I'm not really sure how Jamaicans feel about pageants. I've seen them very passionate when Miss Universe happens. You're in
Yes.
particular, I've seen so much love, so much enthusiasm for you. So I wanted to ask,
Mhm.
how is the pageant culture in Jamaica?
Well, I don't think it's as big as it is in Puerto Rico, but we are garnering a lot of support. Everyone that I've met have been supportive. I've met wonderful women and people going out of their ways just to help and assist me on this journey. I have an apartment in Kingston that is sponsored because I'm from the country, so driving back and forth for training was a bit draining, but I have someone who just offered and sponsored an apartment for me. I have a team of people who have just been going above and beyond to be supportive, and just people coming in from all angles and just supporting. So in Jamaica, it's not as big, but you have those people that are there and that are willing to help. And the fans in Jamaica, once you're a pageant fan, you're a pageant fan, and they've all been super supportive and loving. And I really appreciate and love that. And it means a lot to me wholeheartedly. Yes.
Girl, you don't know how many people would DM me like, please, please, please interview her. Please, I need you to interview her. And I'm like, bro, I want to. Trust me. I really want to. So that's
And no,
amazing.
we
And
are.
yeah, I can definitely see that passion that is slowly growing. And maybe when you win Miss Universe, that will make Jamaicans go crazy and be like, yep, pageant is our sport.
Yes, once they see the potential, they're always there. And once the show starts, they'll all be supportive because everyone wants to wave the flag, and we're just waiting for the moment to knock the pot covers. So that's how we celebrate. We use like two pot covers. So they're always waiting to just knock pot covers and support anyone that's representing us internationally. So I think there will be a lot of support on January 14th,
There
regardless of
will.
how it turns out.
I'm sure they will, and I think they're going to have a very fun time watching Miss Universe this year, and
Yes.
exciting, nerve-wracking, and for you too.
Yes, I nerve wracking, but I'm mostly excited. I've been training and practicing and working on it so much that I'm just ready to go and just show everybody all the skills I've learned. And mind you, I'm new to this, but I'm fighting and I'm learning and
It's your
growing as
second
I
pageant,
go.
right?
Yes, my national pageant was the first, so this one will be my second pageant. But I'm excited and I have a wonderful team helping and training me. So I feel confident in my abilities as I go.
Yeah, no, definitely. I applaud your team because every time I see you, I just see so much potential, and I love seeing that. As a pageant analyst, you kind of look at all the girls and you're like, whoa, this is really hard. They're all really, really good, and you start kind of like being like dissecting them and being like, what could they offer? What do you think Miss Universe might want? And every time I see you, I'm
Mhm.
like, there's something about her. Like she's giving it. She's serving
Yes.
it.
And we'll continue to serve it. It needs to
Oh,
be
you heard that,
served,
y'all.
right? Yes.
Listen, I'm really proud of you, obviously. And I know this question maybe won't be answered, but I have to ask because people, the pageant community always wants people to ask. So I'll do my best. I'll ask for you guys, but she's not going to answer. Tell me about your national costume. Tell me about your gown. How is that working out?
So the gown I won't mention. We can't talk about that one. But for the national costume, it is 60th year of. So we want to do something big to honor that, and that's all I can say.
Big and honored. There you go, guys. That's your
Yes,
a little hint.
that's a little tidbit.
But you guys are so lucky because Miss Universe is just weeks away.
Weeks.
Your face every time I say that, you're like, Jesus.
Weeks. You
Weeks.
keep reminding me, but
Listen, it's so
you
important
know,
to be aware so you can live in the moment and you can cherish every
yes.
single moment because you're going to look back at this moment and be like, damn, I remember. You're going to see next year's girls being interviewed with me and you're going to be like, damn, that was just last year.
I can't believe it. Time
But then you're going to look
flies.
in the reflection and see the Miss Universe crown on your head and you're going to be like, meh, it's okay.
Right?
I'll survive.
That would be the dream. That's the
So
dream.
Shami, I have one more question.
Yes.
When you look
Okay.
back, when you
Mm-hmm.
look back from that night at Miss Universe Jamaica,
Yes.
and they crown you, and you look at yourself right now, what do you think was your biggest weakness, and what do you think is still your biggest weakness that you have to work on before Miss Universe?
Before Miss Universe. I think it's letting people in and being fully vulnerable. I think every time I get to that state, something in me is like, but what if they shun you in a sense when you're being vulnerable? You're being vulnerable. So it's always nerve-wracking. But I find that I'm getting better at being vulnerable and allowing people to see me and to appreciate me for who I am and my struggles, the things that I've been through. So I think vulnerability is one of the biggest things then, and we're working on it. We're
Good,
only
good. Well, I
human.
always tell the girls how the pageant community falls in love with you guys, and
Is
internally Miss Universe judges and the Miss Universe organization is going to fall in love with you guys is when you're authentic, when you're yourself, when you are vulnerable, and when you show a true side. So if you had to show everyone what is the truest, most real side of Toshami, what would it be? What's the most vulnerable that you've ever felt in your life?
the most vulnerable. I think anytime I start to talk about my dad, I get vulnerable because he passed away when I was 14 years old. And it was a year after I migrated to the United States, and I was living there. And in that moment, I kept thinking, what would it be a different outcome if I was still in Jamaica? Would I have been able to, see something or even do something to where it wouldn't have gotten to the state where he was so sick that it was too far gone by the time that he did make it to the hospital? And I think that's one of my most vulnerable stories that I have. And I think it's something that I should share more with people, because you have young girls that are probably going through the same thing or something similar. And when they see that you can overcome it and that you've made it through, or you've somehow found a way to cope with it, then they'll have a bit more hope in the fact that it wouldn't be a lasting feeling or something that you learn to live with and to adjust accordingly. And just talking about my dad is always vulnerable for me.
Listen, and I know it might be something hard to talk about, but you definitely do have power with that to, maybe keep on shining his light and helping
Mm-hmm.
people with, what happened to you, what happened to him. So definitely talk about it.
Yes.
I know it probably is not difficult. I would probably not be able to understand you, but I do have a mom and my best friend that did lose their father at a young age, just like you. So,
Mm-hmm.
so speaking about it is definitely something that could motivate people and make them feel more at ease, as much as that situation could be. So do
Yes.
it, do it. We love seeing that
Yes.
vulnerable side because it makes you feel human. Uh, it makes us feel like we're more connected to you, and it makes us fall in love with you guys. Honestly.
Right. I think when people are most vulnerable, I think that's when you get to see a part of you in them, and then you get to find that connection. So that I am still working on, but clearly I'm sharing, so I'm getting
Yes.
better.
Applause, everyone. She's getting better at that.
Thank you.
Listen, Toshami, I want to applaud you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you from the bottom of my heart because, like I said, I am a very honest. If you guys have seen my YouTube channel, I'm very honest, and you are one of my sentimental favorites. And I see you, and I'm just like, I want her to win. I need her to win. And it would be an honor, obviously, and insane for your family
Yes.
to have you in Miss Universe and then have Tony be Miss World. That's like mind blowing.
Mind
Imagine having
blowing.
one international crown and then you have another one. That's just insane. And we in the pageant community really see that possibility with you. So I want to applaud you for your hard work. Enjoy it. People are obsessed with you. And I feel like as we get closer to Miss Universe and you open up yourself a little bit more to people, they will be able to just connect with you and be like, hey, this girl is special.
Yes, thank you. And I do see all of the support from the pageant community. It has been overwhelming and more than I could have even imagined coming into pageantry at like yesterday. So I'm really a pageant baby, really. So seeing the support has just made my heart feel warm, and it just kind of reassured me that I'm doing something that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, because I always say that I go wherever I feel like I'm being pulled or pushed. I don't like to go against what my feelings are
Green.
telling me, right, against the grain. So it just really reassured me in the fact that I'm making a decision and that it's supported and something that is possible and something that I'm supposed to be doing, or else it wouldn't have been going just so seamlessly, even in the support that I'm receiving in Jamaica.
I definitely feel like you're making everyone proud and everyone should be super excited because you're going to be making them even more proud because I don't know, I can just feel it. No pressure, but I can
No
feel it.
pressure at all. No
But
pressure
pressure.
whatsoever. But you have to go and you have to do your best and just give it your all, have fun, and just leave it all on the stage. No regrets. As long as I have no regrets, I'll be fulfilled because I am honored to be going to Miss Universe, to go be amongst women who have won in their national pageants and to learn about their countries. It's really just an honor because, as I said before, I'm a pageant baby. So I'm really honored, and I'm like, don't be scared of me. I really want to learn from you and get to know you because I'm new to it, but also
Yeah,
I'm
Tashami,
here.
definitely put all your energy into it and all the openness to learn and to pick everything up because you have that star quality and you have that potential to be Miss Universe. I look at you and I see a Miss Universe. So definitely, don't get discouraged by comments. Don't get discouraged by anything that happens, anything that you see, because it could be very well in your destiny in a few weeks to
In a
become Miss
few weeks,
Universe.
we'll find out. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you providing me with this platform because I tend to be a bit, I would say, shy away a bit from just posting regularly because I'm a live in the moment type of person and I like to take everything
I
in
agree with
and
you.
to be personal. So having this interview with you, it gives me the chance to like show everybody different sides of me, but also I'm still living in the moment because I get to have this conversation with you, of course. So thank you.
No, thank you, and thank you again to Mark. Thank you to Miss Universe Jamaica organization. It means so much to have a sentimental favorite here for the pageant community to enjoy and fall in love with. That is ultimately my goal with you guys. And what can I say that I haven't said before? Guys, you're potentially looking at the next Miss Universe. And I'm super excited to be there in New Orleans from day one, supporting you
Yes,
and giving you as much love as I can so you know that you're doing good or bad. because I'll be honest with you.
Okay, and I look forward to seeing the comments and the reviews and seeing you. Hopefully, I'll get to see
I
you in
will be there.
person.
Yep, I will be there. So, guys, we're just weeks away from Miss Universe. I keep saying it, and someone over there gets a little scared every time I say it. I can tell on your face you're like, "Oh shit, it's coming too fast."
Not scared, just anxious,
Anxious,
really.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Hmm.
But relax, you got this. You got this. I can
Yes,
tell. I can tell. Confidence before everything.
yes, absolutely.
Now, Tashami, last thing I'm going to ask you, and I have to, people want to hear you present yourself. So if you can present yourself, your name and your country, that would be awesome. I know the pageant community just gets life when you guys do that.
Oh, presenting Tashami Calvin, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Working on it. Yes.
And now it's good. It's good. Save all the power and everything for the final night. You got it, or for prelim. So.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so thank you so much, Sashami. I appreciate you so much. I want to thank everyone for being here and enjoying and taking time out from your day to watch and fall in love with Toshami Calvin, Miss Universe Jamaica. She's gonna make you guys proud. I can feel it, and I want to hear what you guys think. If you guys like she said, she listens to the comments. If
Yes.
she feels like they're good, then she'll take them. So if you guys have suggestions for her, go and write them in the comments. I'm pretty sure she'll glance at them. And yeah, I know that all of us that are here want Toshami to shine on that Miss Universe stage, and I think it's very, very possible to see her with that Miss Universe crown. So thank you guys so much for being here. I want to appreciate everyone again for taking out their time. And yeah, in about 20 minutes, we will be with our next interview, Miss Universe Brazil, me and my men. So stick around, go get a coffee, go have some breakfast or a snack, and I'll meet you guys here in a few minutes. Thank you, Tashami.
Thank you
Appreciate you.
again. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
And